Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to this week's Yin. Great to be back after a week off. So let's head straight into the practice tonight. Going to start with a simple moving meditation. So finding a comfortable sitting position. You could sit up on a cushion, or perhaps if you need a little bit more height, you could sit on a bolster with your legs crossed. Or you could also sit back on your heels. And we're going to do 6 rounds of this very simple moving meditation. So we're coordinating movement with our breath. So starting with our hands interlaced at our heart center. Now this is our starting position, which we'll come back to at the beginning of each round. And taking a breath in. And exhale, pressing your hands forward. And then inhale, bringing your hands up. And exhale, cactusing your arms, opening out. And that's one round. Bring our hands back to our chest, interlacing our fingers. Inhale. And exhale, stretching forward. Inhale up. And exhale, opening out. So 2 rounds. Hands to our chest, interlace our fingers. Breath in. Exhale out. Inhale up. And exhale, opening out. Hands to our chest, interlacing our fingers. And inhale. Exhale forward. Inhale up. And exhale, opening out. Interlace our fingers. Inhale. Exhale, pressing our palms forward. Inhale up. And exhale out. And let's do one more round. Interlacing our fingers. Inhale. Exhale forward. Inhale up. And exhale, opening out. And now resting your hands just anywhere on your knees or your thighs. And if it's comfortable, gently closing your eyes or softening your gaze. We're going to turn our focus inwards to the sensations in our body. You may now notice the sensation of your breath. Other sensations could be feelings of tingling, subtle pulsation. You may feel areas of your body that are warm, others that might be cool. So we're just observing here. Like we're witnessing what's going on. You might also notice thoughts. So that's what the mind does. We are constantly thinking. If you find yourself getting caught up in the thoughts, you can bring yourself back to the sensations in your body or simply to your breath. You can bring yourself back to this present moment. And now let's open our eyes if you had them closed. Let's bring yourself back to your room. And we're going to start tonight with the wall caterpillar pose. So this is also known as legs up the wall. So finding a wall, and you might like to bring your mat over to the wall, or otherwise making sure you've got some nice padding. I've got carpet and a blanket here. And coming up, might like to come up in any way. I'm going to come up sitting side on. I'm going to take my legs up here. So swiveling my buttocks around, shuffling around, slowly bringing my legs up the wall and lying down on my back. And once you have your legs up the wall, and your knees a little bit bent, resting your heels on the wall. And you may have your buttocks a little bit further out from the wall, that's fine. Or you might like to shuffle it closer in. And making sure that you feel completely comfortable where you're lying. If it doesn't feel comfortable like this, you could also try placing a bolster underneath your buttocks and putting your buttocks up on the bolster and your legs either up in the air or up against the wall. Some students prefer that. And once you've found your comfortable wall caterpillar, let's take two sighs here. So breathing in through your nose and then out through your mouth with an ah. Come back to your natural breath. Let's do one more. Deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth with an ah sound. Starting to notice your whole body, particularly here, the back of your body, softening into the ground. Starting to tune into what you can feel. Just inviting yourself into this present moment. Giving yourself permission to let go of what's been throughout the day, or even what's to come, and just focusing right here and now. Legs up the wall pose or wall caterpillar. It's a really good pose to go into if you're feeling a little bit anxious. A few minutes in this can help to really drain our energy in terms of helping that anxiety release. Might be worth a go. You may like to, for the next minute and a half or so, bring one hand to your heart center and one hand to your belly. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can leave your arms out to your sides. And just notice here the sensation, the connection of your hand against your torso. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. in your belly or in your chest. And that connection to your heart space. Purity that's at the center of our being. Staying present here with what you can feel. Just like you're observing. Might also like to invite a sense of letting go. Letting go into a space, relaxation. This letting go can happen gradually throughout the class, just in your own time, at your own pace. Let's take 2 more breaths here in your own time. And when you've finished your 2 breaths, you can take your arms to the sides if you had them on your chest, and we're going to bring our knees down in towards our chest, just staying lying where you are. You can wrap your arms around your knees here, and we're just going to pause here in stillness to just feel the rebound. So this is the echo of the pose. You may like to let out a sigh. Or even 2 sighs. Just noticing that you're feeling like you need to do that to support the release of energy. It's this sense of as we come out of each yin pose. And as energy flows through the yin tissues, the connective tissue of our body. That's what we're working. Possibly opening new pathways. And from here, let's leave the rebound. Let's roll to one side. And use the support of your arms to bring yourself back up to a sitting position. And let's come up on and sit up onto a square cushion. And we will move from here into straddle pose. So you may need a couple of blocks and your bolster handy. I'll talk you through the full straddle first. So taking your legs comfortably wide apart and making sure your sit bones are nicely grounded. And for the full straddle, we fold through fold forward, so flexing through our spine, rounding through our spine and coming forward so that you start to feel it in your inner thighs. And possibly down the backs of your legs. If you have a tendency to round through your lower back, give yourself some more height by adding an extra cushion under your buttocks. If you feel like you're caving in a little bit through your lower back, give yourself some more height. So some other options here, you can use a couple of blocks underneath your knees, or you could use cushions. If it's feeling a bit much with your legs flat on the floor, you could also use your bolster out in front as a support to rest your arms on. And you could also use a block on top of your bolster, and that can feel quite nice, might feel nice to rest your forehead on. And any other way that you feel you might need any support, because there's lots of different ways we can support our body in each yin pose. Feel free to add your own options for supporting. We are wanting to support our bones in yin so that our muscles can relax. We are stretching some muscles as well, but when we're supporting our bones, our muscles generally are relaxing, and that is how then we access this connective tissue, the fascia of our body. So you're finding your edge where you can feel something, but we don't want to be feeling too much or any pain or sharp stabbing sensations. They're all signs that you need to come out of the pose or ease back. And we stay relatively still for up to 5 minutes. So you have the freedom to come out whenever your body is telling you you need to. It's important not to push too much or to stay too long. Just we take a gradual approach in yin. You may, as time goes on in the pose, need to make some subtle adjustments, subtle movements, so that you find a new edge. You may find you can go a little bit deeper, or perhaps you need to ease back. It's about tuning into your body. Right in this present moment. Use your breath, your exhalation to soften, to support this letting go. Let's take 2 more breaths here in your own time. And when you're ready, we're going to very slowly start to roll up through your spine, bringing yourself back up to sitting and removing your props to the sides. You can lean back on your hands, release your hips, bring your legs into the center, and let's bend into our knees and place our feet flat on the floor and do a windshield wiper. Just by dropping one knee into the center at a time, just to ease out through our hips. And when you're ready, you can take your legs out long to feel the rebound. You can stay leaning back on your hands, or you can sit up straight if that's more comfortable, or you could lean back on a wall as well. And let's take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth with an ah. Just coming back to your natural breath. Just feeling this release of energy. And let's do one more deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth with an ah. Hmm. Let's release our hands if you had them back. And from here, we're going to move into a gentle neck stretch on either side. And then from there, we'll move into melting heart pose. So you can stay sitting on your cushion in any way, or you could sit back on your heels. And just lengthening up through your spine. And let's drop our left ear towards our left shoulder until you start to feel it down right side of your neck, or perhaps into your head, maybe even into your shoulder. And if it feels so comfortable for you, you can do a little bit of movement by bringing your chin towards your chest. A little bit of movement to play around with finding a juicy spot for your neck. You may like to pause in a place where it feels like you're getting a nice stretch. Or you may feel like you've had enough. Just be here for a little bit longer. And let's then gently bring your head back to the center. Pause here for a moment. And when you're ready, heading over to stretching your neck on the other side, dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder as a starting point. Noticing where you can feel the stretch. And from there, you may like to play around a little bit, my chin towards your chest, or in any other way, just taking it slowly. And find that edge for your neck stretch. And still connecting in with your breath. And keep the energy flowing. And when you're ready, you can bring your neck up to the center. And pausing here. And from here, we will head into melting heart pose. So for melting heart, you may need a bolster or possibly a cushion or a little bit of padding. So have those handy. And for melting heart, we start in a four-pointed kneeling position with your knees underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. And from here, we walk our hands forward. So keeping our hips stacked over our knees, walking our hands forward and dropping our torso towards the mat. So your forehead may rest on the mat. This is the full melting heart pose. You can take your arms a little bit out to the sides to make sure that it feels comfortable for your shoulders. If you have any issues in your neck, be sure to use some padding. So you can place a cushion underneath your forehead here. If you do experience any tingling in your fingers, so tingling in sensation may be a sign you may be compressing a nerve. You could also, that happens, bring your arms in, bending in at your elbows and placing your forearms on top of each other and resting your forehead on top of your wrists or hands. And as a final option, you could rest up on a bolster. This will lessen the compression in your lumbar spine, taking your arms over the bolster and resting your forehead on the bolster. Noticing where you are feeling the sensations across your chest, possibly. So we're working in an extension of our mid and upper back, perhaps into our neck as well. Also working into our shoulders, down our arms. You have them out in front. Connecting in with what you can feel. Whether your edge has shifted, whether you need to make any subtle adjustment for this last 30 seconds or so. And take your arms further out or bring them closer in. Noticing what your experience is. And softening as you exhale. And now let's start to come out of the pose by walking your hands back up into a four-pointed position. You may like to do just a gentle cat curl here. You could roll in the opposite, just a small one, direction by curling up through your spine and then dropping your belly, just a little one. Or you may like to move back, stretch back into your arms. Just noticing what feels organic for you after melting. And once you're ready and have finished your movement, we're going to head back into child's pose for a rest. So dropping your buttocks towards your heels. And take your arms out in front, resting your forehead to the ground. If you have difficulty, if your buttocks doesn't make it into your heels, that's fine. You can put some padding in between your thighs and your calves. If you know any other version of child's pose, feel free to take yourself there. And feeling the weight of your body connected and grounded to the mat and the earth. And let's take a deep breath in here. And exhale, let it go through your mouth. Coming to your natural breath. And let's do one more deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And from here, let's come back up. Then back up to sitting. And next, we're going to move into frog pose. We're going to work a bit deeper through our inner thighs and into our hips as well. So you'll need a bolster handy for frog, and also make sure you have some padding on either side for your knees. Make sure your joints are nice and supported. So I'll show you front on to start with. We're taking our knees out wide here. We'll have either knee on either side. Letting my lower legs and my feet just go out behind me, however it feels comfortable. So we're wanting to work in our inner thighs here. Then bringing your bolster out in front. And we're going to rest over the bolster. I will show you this side on so you can see what my hips are doing. My knees out to the side. And then I'm repositioning, so my hips and coming forward. So you can play around with the positioning of your hips. And if you take your knees, if you're needing more of a stretch in your inner thighs, you can take your knees a little bit wider apart until you can feel it working in there. So you find that edge that is right for you. Another couple of options are you could work without the bolster, and this is a little bit deeper to rest onto your forearms. Or for the full frog, if you're working there, you can lengthen right out. It can be quite a challenging one, this frog pose, so we won't be here for too long. Once you've found that edge, just notice what you can feel. Whether you need to ease back a bit by bringing your knees closer in, or whether you can take them a little bit further out, or if shifting your hips either forward or back changes the experience of the pose. We have about another 20 seconds here. And now let's start to make our way out of the pose. Bringing your knees into the center. You may like to let out a groan. And doing any little bit of organic movement you feel like you'd like to do for your hips. We are also now going to head down onto our backs to do a windshield wiper and then feel the rebound. And coming right down onto your back. And once you've arrived on your back, bending into your knees, placing your feet flat on the floor, about hip width, about the width of your mat, and dropping one knee into the center at a time. And then let's take our legs out long just for a mini Shavasana here. Feel the full rebound. Let's take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth with an ah. Noticing the weight of your body on the mat. Let's do one more. Deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth with an ah. It's inviting this sense of surrender, sense of letting go. And from here, we'll now come into a spinal twist. And staying lying down. Feel free to head into your own version. Twist, if you have a preferred one. Otherwise, following along. So bringing your knees into your chest. You can take your arms out to the sides at shoulder height. And then let's drop our knees over to the right side and shuffle your hips a little bit over to the left. So if your knees are hovering off the floor, you might like to use a support with a bolster underneath your knees. You could also experiment with changing the position of your knees. Notice how it feels if you bring them closer, higher up towards your torso, or if you shift them further away from your torso. that you can find that edge. And if it feels okay for your neck, you could look over to your left hand, being out to the side. And then another option for your arms is to bend into your elbows and cactus your arms. Just checking that your left shoulder blade is nicely grounded on your mat. Settling into your twist. Bringing your awareness to your buttocks, the base of your body, and softening through those areas. Also through your pelvic bowl. Softening through your thighs and all the way down your legs. Right down to your feet, your toes. And we're inviting flow through our legs, which is often a place where there may be less. It's very common. Sometimes when we invite it and imagine it, it might actually happen. Also, if it feels right for you, inviting a sense of peace into your whole being. Knowing that we are all deserving and can access peace. This might take a bit of practice. And let's take 2 more breaths here, just in your own time. And now let's start to come out of the pose by bringing your knees back up to center, shuffling your lower back so it's centered on your mat. And release your arms to the sides. You might like to just pause here for a moment, or perhaps you feel like you need to do a little bit of movement before you head over to the other side. So just notice what you feel you need. And when you're ready, starting to set yourself up for your twist on the left-hand side, taking your arms out at shoulder height, bringing your knees into your chest. And let's drop our knees over to our left. Might need to shuffle your hips a little bit to your right. And using a bolster underneath your knees here if you need some support. And finding that edge. That's positioning for your knees. That gives you that nice twist. Could also look over towards your right hand if it's okay for your neck. You might also like to cactus your arms. So making sure that that right shoulder blade is nicely grounded. And then settling right into your twist. Feeling or inviting this sense of peace within yourself. Right here in the stillness of the practice. It's a good place to invite peace, to practice peace. When we practice or invite peace for ourselves, it's not only beneficial for ourselves, it can be beneficial for those that we're around, but also for our earth. This is feeling a bit difficult for you. That's perfectly okay. You can simply focus on your breath. Without judging. Doesn't feel right today. Just observing. It's okay to be exactly how you are. Let's take 3 more breaths here, just in your own time. And slowly making your way out of your twist by bringing your knees back up, your hips back to the center, your arms down. You may like to bring your knees into your chest, gently rock. It's massaging your lower back. You can also add the back of your head into the rocking, if that feels okay. And then when you're ready, setting yourself up for your final resting pose of Shavasana. So you may like to just lie out long on your mat with your legs a little bit out to the sides and your arms out to the sides. We could place a bolster underneath your knees. Be a nice support for your lower back. You like to cover yourself in a blanket. We'll be lying down here for 6 or 7 minutes or so, and making sure that you're nice and comfortable and warm. And I'm going to guide you in a body awareness relaxation meditation. So if it doesn't feel right for you, feel free to let my words wash over you. Starting by bringing your awareness to the soles of your feet. Softening the soles of your feet and the tops of your feet, all of your toes. Now noticing your heels in contact with the ground. Bringing your awareness to your lower legs, softening, and to your knees. So we're doing both sides at the same time. And having a sense of softening from the center of the joint out to the skin. Moving your awareness to your thighs, front and back, and softening. And shifting your awareness to your buttocks. Softening your buttocks, the base of your body. And now your pelvic bowl. Your hips, and softening. Softening your lower back, moving up your torso, middle of your back, up your front into your rib cage, and softening. Bringing your awareness to your heart center, to the space in the center of your chest. You may like to sense or visualize a diamond, white and clear in this space. Leaving the diamond, and now let's move our awareness up to our shoulders, chest, and softening your shoulder blades. Shifting your awareness down your arms and softening. Softening through your elbow joints. And that spreading continues down your forearms to your wrists. Softening the energy of your hands, fingers, and all the way down to your fingertips. Moving your awareness to your neck and your throat, softening, particularly the skin in this area. And softening through your jaw And now your whole face, noticing any areas of tension, making it your exploration, seeing if you can soften. Now the sides of your head and your ears softening, back of your head softening, and the top of your head. Now noticing your whole body and the points of your body that are connected to your mat. Noticing those points. So you are grounded and connected to your mat and to the earth. And pausing here, so staying here, resting in this stillness for just a little bit longer. Now let's start to wake up, bringing some movement to your fingers, your toes, your feet, your hands. You may like to take a big stretch out with your arms above your head, point your toes, and then release and roll onto one side. You can use your arm as a pillow or any other support. And using your arms to support yourself back up. You're coming back up to a comfortable sitting position. And let's bring our hands into prayer at our heart center. And let's bow our head towards our heart. Just taking a moment to honor yourself for giving yourself the nourishing practice of Yin Yoga. Taking time to connect in with your body and explore relaxation. You might like to honor others who are practicing this week. And you might like to honor our sacred earth, which we all share. Gives us ground for our experience of life. And together, let's say namaste. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Great to be back. Hope you enjoyed the practice. And if you have any questions, if you need some different options, feel free to contact me to have a chat. Otherwise, enjoy your week, and would love to see you next week. Okay, bye for now.